Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all this afternoon? It's 3:45 almost, and it's Sunday. As I said in my video yesterday, I don't normally speak with you on weekends, but I'm trying to make up for the days I lost last week when I was in Sarnia. So, beautiful bags today. I've got two bags actually today, and I'll explain why when I get to the second bag. But the first bag, for those of you who are new to my channel, I do try and share some history when I know some history about the company. This particular company is a Canadian company by the name of Danier. And historically, their bags are incredible quality. However, 2016, the company went into receivership, and spring 2016, summer 2016, they were taken over by a new consortium that is still Canadian, I believe, but the quality has just gone really not great quality. Honestly, when I find the newer ones in Value Village or wherever it is, estate sales, auctions, wherever it is I find my stuff, marketplace, whatnot, I wouldn't even take it if it was for free, because the garbage quality, and this is my opinion, as always on my channel, this is my opinion. Um, it's terrible. And I mean, as I gain new subscribers, I share these stories over and over because you may not have heard it before. So when I come across vintage Danier, now this bag just squeaks in as vintage. And I've actually recently sold another bag, but it was quite a bit smaller than this one, and it was a gorgeous plum color. But this is probably, I'm going to say, late 90s, early 2000s. So it just squeaks in with the vintage. And the reason I know, or I'm presuming that, is because of the size of the phone pockets. So that, because obviously I have no receipts. I have no 100% guarantee proof of how old this bag is. And I do so much research. Every TV show I watch, every movie I watch, everywhere I go out in public, I'm always looking at bags and what people are wearing. When I'm out and about at the malls, I want to see what's trending, what people are carrying. And in movies, especially period movies, I love it because I get to see what bags they were using, and it helps me date my bags. Because, I want to be as accurate as I can. So this bag, like I said, it's gorgeous. There is some room for adjustment on the straps. I've added a hole, not necessarily because I needed to, but what was happening was these little flaps were rolling up. And that drives me insane. A beautiful bag, and it's just ruined by curling of straps. So by putting an extra hole in it, it shortens the distance for, whatever. Lot going on, really. Like, you've got your buckles and this nice little kind of puffed area. And this is actually a pocket. I'm not sure what the reasoning would be to put a pocket down there, but you could get your phone in there, that's for sure. And then inside, like I showed you already, there's the two phone pockets, another slip pocket, and a zippered pocket on this side, and there's your Danier plaque. There is a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it. I've moisturized the shit out of this bag. I think the leather, because the plum one was the same. The leather it was dry, and this one was the same. And I am actually going to probably give it another coat of the conditioner because it has soaked it up like crazy. But it was starting to look dry in predominantly these creased areas because it's kind of gathered here and along the bottom. There is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you it looks like somebody's cat has had a little bit of a go at the bottom. Nothing's torn or anything like that, but there are just a couple of little, I mean, there's just a little bit here too. That's what it looks like to me. Or it could have been that somebody's put the bag down on gravel or something like that. And it's just, I mean, you can't even really see it. And it is on the base. But you know me, I tell you everything that I'd rather you be pleasantly surprised than pissed off when you get your bag that I didn't tell you something. So you're going to get a lot of stuff in here. Where's my bag of stuffing? So this is my bag of stuffing, and that bag took half a bag of stuffing to plump it out. It's a big bag. So that is bag number 1, and that has just been listed. Now, in my video from my aunt's place in Sarnia, I showed you a beautiful bag, a beautiful 70s bag that I thrifted. And one of my customers has asked me to let her know when I've listed it. So that I have done. So here we go. It's a beauty. It's a gorgeous bag. I love this mahogany brown color. Now, if you look back in that video, you can see that the corners were almost white because they were so dry and the color had been lost. Almost, see how white that is? It was the same in all the corners. So I used my, where's the stuff I used? Let me just get it out of my cupboard here. I used my Clyde's recoloring balm, and I actually used it earlier on this little beauty that'll be coming your way sometime soon. This little Roots shoulder bag, but the corners were all dry. It was all dry here, and I've recolored it. This stuff is really cool. The only criticism I would have is that it dries. That's what it looks like inside. So, I mean, I've just received these pots, so I haven't really used them much at all. But it does get a little crusty around the rim with constant opening and closing. And when little bits, you can see there's some little bits that have kind of dropped down the side. It does dry out quite quickly, but it's great stuff. I was supposed to do a promotional video for them. They were going to send me a couple of pots. They were going to comp me a couple of pots, and one of the colors was a mahogany, but I haven't really heard back from them. So I'll buy them myself. I don't really care. They're not cheap. I mean, this is a pretty tiny little pot, but you don't need very much at all. So it'll be interesting to see how long it lasts. The color, the polish stuff, again, I will reach over. If I'm moving the camera, I'm sorry. This is the shoe polish that I used to use, Terrago Shoe Cream. And I still do use it on some occasions. What I might sometimes do is mix it, because these are only solid colors. So in order for me to mix the color to get this bag repainted in the corners was dark brown and a little bit of red. It was really cool. I did it this morning. It was great. Now, these didn't wear very well. You can see how that shrunk inside. It's all kind of dried up. These, and they would go moldy too. Now I've got maybe 75 pots of all different colors, which I really don't use anymore. So, but that's just part of being in business and learning and researching and moving forward with products. And I've said this before, if I could create a business out of refurbishing people's bags, not fixing them, stitching them, or anything like that, because I don't do that. I mean, I do if it's just a seam and I can put thread through existing holes, I will do that. But I'm not, you know, if the whole side's blown out of the bag, I'm not restoring that. But I love to see the before and after. I just love it. I've got a bag at the moment. This one is quite a mess. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, how dry it is. Yeah, this bag has needed a lot of work. You see it's all dry here. This is a Derek Alexander. Way more wear than I would normally take, but now that I've got my Clydes, I will take these bags. I mean, they're not much cheaper, believe me, than, you know, if it was in great condition. But Derek Alexander is a company I love, and yeah, so that's just an example of the products that I'm using. So, you know what? I'm having a senior moment. I think it's Cynthia. I think maybe, is it Cynthia? Yes, it is Cynthia. What am I talking about? Maybe you don't want your name on my YouTube channel, but nobody knows your last name, Cynthia. So let me just share with you, tell you that the bag is now listed, and I've sent you a message. So there you go. So our history piece today, we're dealing with 1920s and 1930s, which we've kind of touched on before. So 1920s, after World War I, clutches became very popular. Now, what they're saying is after World War I, it was quite a party atmosphere in the developed world, the Western world anyway. The war was over and the revelers were out. You know, 1920s, the flappers, you know, little headband with the feather and the fringe dresses and all that kind of stuff. And they would just tuck their clutch bag under their arm. So they became very, very popular. Outfit coordination wasn't that important either. The outfits, those flapper dresses were super ornate. So that's where you get a lot of the beaded little bags with the chains. Those bags don't interest me at all. I don't pick those up. I don't look for those. For me, it's leather, and that's what I'm passionate about. 1930s, shoulder bags, satchels, clasp bags, and clutches were coming into fashion, and they were using plastics for Art Deco bags. Now, if you watch some of my recent videos, you would have seen me show you this baby that I came across a few years ago. I'm almost positive that this is a Bakelite, but it's very Art Deco. So this is what people would have been out on the town with. And yeah, so that's our history piece for today. Well, there was something else I wanted to talk to you about, but I can't remember. See, another senior moment. Yeah, so tomorrow, okay, so my days are getting kind of stupid. If you've been following me for a while, you know that in March this year, I had some friends kind of talk me into putting drywall on my ceilings, which I didn't want to do, for the reason that has actually come to pass. I live in this little house. It's a little bit of a shack, really. Didn't start out life as a house. It's been a tractor shed. It's been an ice house. And it was made into a residential dwelling. Well, the roof structure, the roof design, the roof, whatever, construction was never intended for residential living. And by that, I mean heating. So we're kind of getting now to why I get the condensation issue that I get in my roof space. So I've been dealing with this for about 10 years, and I've had so many different professionals come into my home and tell me that it's this, that it's that, and nobody really could tell me anything definitively. So I took all the ceilings down because it rains in my house in the zero temperatures. So probably from January to mid-March, I've got buckets all over the place because the air, the hot air from my central heating, gas heating, whatever, is not getting the flow through the attic space. I mean, I literally have maybe a foot between my ceiling and my roof. And yep, so all the work I did this March, all the thousands of dollars I spent, waste of time. Right now there's a big leak and it's dripping right in the middle of my bed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I was just going to run away to the falls, to be honest, but I decided against it because I got too much work to do. May go tomorrow, mind you, but yeah, it's I'm done. This house and I are going to part ways in the next 3 to 12 months. I've been here 16 years. I raised my 2 kids here, and I'm done. I'm done with the area. I'm done with the house. And I will be sharing my journey with you in that regard. Everything in this house is going. I have no relationship with any of it. And what I'm starting with is all these mirrors. Mind you, I'm going to keep this little skinny one because that size is very difficult to find. But everything else is going on Marketplace. That's the area I'm starting with. Everything in that area, there's a shoe rack, there's a coat rack behind the furnace doors. There's a whole bunch of stuff back there. It's going. And then I will be starting in this area and back here. So it's a big undertaking, and I've kind of sat here for the whole morning just stunned at so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep in my bed tonight because I was woken up at 20 to 6 this morning by drip, drip, drip. Nice big area on my ceiling that is now dripping. So I was in love with my bedroom. I loved it. It was the cutest. I haven't had a proper bedroom in this house for 16 years. And I finally got one with beautiful smooth ceilings and waste of time. So anyway, we'll leave you with that positive note, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye now.